Alright, are you a fraud or are you for real? That is the question the Broncos are facing going into Week 9, taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Through these past 6 weeks, the Broncos are 5-1, but a lot of those wins are against teams that have losing records, and so the Broncos aren't being taken that seriously with the national media. And in Vegas, they don't like them either. The spreads are between 8 and 9.5 points. At the beginning of the week, I saw a sportsbook had the Ravens favored by 10 points, which is crazy for a spread for a team that is 5-3 right now. But let's face it, the Broncos aren't getting much respect in the national media. But today, we're going to talk about how this team can prove they're for real and that they're going to be a problem in the AFC moving forward, and the 3 keys that they need to focus on against the Ravens in order to prove they're for real. So the first key is going to be the Broncos offense staying balanced. Against the Panthers, the Broncos were pass happy, especially against the second quarter when they erupted for 21 points. But then you go back to that New Orleans game, they were ground and pound running the football for over 200 yards. It was impressive, but again, these are bad defenses and they're bad teams at the moment. So, that being said, the Broncos got to find a way to stay balanced because they're facing the team with the worst pass defense statistically, but the best run defense statistically in the Baltimore Ravens. So, you got to attack them on the ground to open up your passing game and keep them off balance. There's no question that the Baltimore defense has not been as good this year as previous years, and traditionally the Ravens have a really good defense. But that being said, if the Broncos can find a way to get some run game going, be productive, be effective on the ground to open up the play action game, make things easier for Bo Nix, that's going to give them an advantage taking on Lamar Jackson, which leads me to my second point. You have to shut down the Ravens' running game. This is where it all starts for that offense. Lamar Jackson can scramble around and basically create his own play after the original play breaks down. And then you add Derrick Henry, who is just an absolute beast and a perfect fit for this offense to just ground and pound teams away. It just opens everything up for this offense. It opens up Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, all the weapons that the Baltimore Ravens had. And so if you can make the Ravens one-dimensional, you have a better shot than if you're not shutting down the run game and the Ravens offense just starts to steamroll, and then things could get ugly from there. So stop the run game and you make the Ravens one-dimensional, gives the Broncos the best chance on Sunday. Leads me to my third point. No turnovers whatsoever on Sunday. 2 turnovers against the Panthers isn't going to kill you because the Panthers will neutralize those mistakes with more mistakes of their own. You're not going to get that against the Ravens. This is a well-oiled machine offensively. This is a team that was in the AFC Championship game last year, and they have Super Bowl aspirations. If you want to be considered one of the threats in the AFC, maybe not the favorites, but certainly one of the threats, you got to win a game like this, and you cannot make the mistakes that you've been making over the past couple of weeks, turning the football over, not staying on the field on third down. They were good last week, 10 for 12 against the Panthers, but that trend's got to keep continuing. They've been up and down on third down offensively, the Broncos being really all year. So, 3 keys. Stay balanced offensively, shut down the run game for the Ravens, no turnovers. Those are the big keys because, let's face it, if the Broncos win this game, they have nearly an 80% chance to get to the playoffs. They'll be 6-3 going into a game against Kansas City. And they may be undefeated, but you give yourself a chance if you win that game as well, on top of Baltimore, to be in the division race still. And I'm not saying it's likely to happen, but you got to control what you can control to give yourself at least a chance. If the Broncos win this game, they will be right there among the playoff teams in the AFC come January. How far they go remains to be seen. But if you want to be considered a legitimate team, these are the games you got to win.